So it looks like Shannon Sharpe is determined not to go down alone because he is trying to take Katt Williams down with him. In case you missed the tea, Shannon has come under the fire in the past couple of weeks from some of the most powerful celebrities who hate how he constantly spills tea on them. Allegedly, these celebs are trying to get the podcast shut down. But for some reason, Shannon is holding Katt responsible for this, claiming that the thing started going wrong after Katt came on his podcast. He accused Katt of making up lies during their explosive interview, setting him up for the dragging. Now y'all know that Katt Williams isn't the type to let stuff just slide, and he clapped back at Shannon, exposing Shannon for being a fraud. Y'all get in on this messy drama because it's about to get crazy between these two. It's been almost 7 months since Shannon Sharpe dropped his mind-blowing interview with Katt Williams, and the industry is still shook. The video alone has racked up over 70 million views, so you know it's a massive hit. Now you'd think that folks would have moved on from the drama by now, right? Well, not quite. Fans are still buzzing, and Shannon is still getting roasted. And get this, he's now turning the tables and blaming Katt Williams for all the backlash, even accusing him of trying to ruin his life and career. Now this whole mess has been brewing ever since the podcast dropped, and at first, Katt was the one catching all the smoke and hate from fellow comedians and entertainers. This isn't surprising though, because Katt spilled a whole lot of tea on celebrities, and it did not go down well. They felt he was throwing shade and embarrassing his fellow black artists, which they weren't having. But let's be real, Katt really went in hard on them, and some folks thought he was giving off hater vibes. His career wasn't always the best in the past, and there were accusations of him being jealous. Well, Kevin Hart also jumped in, dragging Katt on social media and calling him a clown that belongs in a circus. And honestly, it's tough to blame Kevin because Katt didn't hold back on him either, accusing Kevin of being a fraud who steals jokes. Katt went on to say that Kevin pretends to be super successful when he's really not. According to Katt, a lot of what Kevin shows off is just smoke and mirrors, and he's faked plenty of things in his career. Talk about a heated exchange.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
But to be fair, Katt coming for Kevin wasn't exactly out of the nowhere. These two have been beefing for as long as we can remember. It's all kicked off when Katt started talking about how the industry blackballed him for speaking his truth. Now, for some reason, this really rubbed Kevin Hart the wrong way, and he went on The Breakfast Club and claimed that Katt Williams got blacklisted because of his drug addiction and how hard it was to work with him. And that's how the drama train started rolling. So Katt spilling tea on Kevin on Club Shay Shay was something of payback for Kevin's words. But Kevin wasn't having any of it because he clapped back again, calling Katt a clown better who belonged in the circus.
Hey Kev, you didn't say nothing to Katt Williams when he did a 3-hour interview talking slow yesterday. You didn't put a shot clock on him.
Do you entertain the circus or do you watch it, Perk? Which one do you do?
So yeah, there was a lot of back and forth between Katt and the celebs that he called out on the show. But here's the kicker. While Katt was getting dragged left and right, Shannon stayed silent. He didn't say a thing to defend Katt or check the haters. He just watched while Katt got roasted. But as Beyonce said, what goes around comes back around. Hey, my Shay Shay. And now Shannon is being dragged by the same people who had a lot to say about Katt. He's been fighting for his life against the comments, and he's losing big time because people are not letting him breathe. After his interview with Katt, it was Katt who caught all the heat, and now Shannon is the one in the hot seat. It all started after his interview with Monique, where he dragged Tyler Perry, Oprah, and even her own son. And now Shannon's getting all the smoke. This is where people began to accuse Shannon of using this platform to stir up unnecessary drama between black celebs. And it was starting to feel like the whole point of his show was to invite black artists to trash other black artists who weren't even there to defend themselves against the accusations. Dave Chappelle was one of the first comedians to drag Shannon and Katt when he said, "What part of the game is this? He ate the ninjas. He didn't say anything about any of these white boys. None of these white boys function like that. Katt is one of the best painters in the game. So why are you drawing ugly pictures of us? Stop." Hurt people, but I'm a hurt person that never hurt people, and he does it all the time. He also accused Shannon and Katt of trying to ruin the livelihoods of his fellow black men, and he said, "If I told my story, it would break your heart. I lost everything and never ever told on anybody," and he is acting like the arbiter of truth. Katt, listen, I F with Katt hard, but D-Ray, tell me what part of the game F's up another ninja's paper? What part of the game is about telling on another ninja? Well, once Dave kicked off the convo, it was all anyone could talk about. People quickly shifted their focus from Katt to Shannon's role in the whole drama fest. They felt he was purposefully bringing on controversial artists just to stir up the pot and rack up views. And guess what? It worked. His interviews with Katt and Monique went viral and got the most views. If his goal was to get views, well, we have to say mission accomplished. But let's be real, who doesn't love some drama and controversy and juicy accusations? However, other comedians have been voicing their disapproval, like D.L. Hughley, who accused Shannon of being messy and helping his guests spread lies and false narratives about the people they talked about.
Well, Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. And so Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time.
Rapper Mace also dragged Shannon, calling him out for being anti-black, pointing out how Shannon has all this energy for black people, but it's crickets from him when a white man tries to come for him.
You call yourself coming at me, right? You want to be aggressive with me, right? Listen, you showed poise, respect, wherewithal, resolve, compassion, reverence. But Skip Bayless, why are you so aggressive anytime somebody black say something? The man said, put your glasses on, and you put your glasses back on.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, Mace did have a point there because Shannon does seem to treat white people with a lot more respect. And that's the same thing Dave Chappelle said about him. Dave pointed out how Katt and Shannon only went in on black artists, leaving white folks out of the conversation and accusing them of villainizing their fellow black men. Well, in true Shannon fashion, he's now throwing another black man under the bus, claiming Katt is to blame for this messy interview. He said Katt was the one steering the ship, and he was just asking follow-up questions based on what Katt said. And Shannon thinks it's unfair that he's catching all this heat when he was just doing his job as an interviewer. He didn't force Katt to spill the tea or say what he said, so if anyone should be getting dragged, it's Katt. He also hinted that some of Katt's stories on the podcast weren't true, hinting that Katt might have either lied or stretched the truth quite a bit. According to Shannon, he makes it a point of duty to reassure his guests that they don't have to talk about situations that they're uncomfortable with. He claims that the reason he does this is to make them feel more comfortable and open during the interview.
I said, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? I always ask the guests that. Sometimes they say, well, I would appreciate it if we not talk about this. Right. Cool, no problem. Because I believe you can tell your story without saying something negative. But yes, I believe a person that's been in a business, that's been doing something 10, 15, 20, 30 years are more than one salacious story. Right. That's what I believe. So if they say they want to stay away from it, but if they want to tell something, who am I to say, no, don't do, you can't tell that. Right. People, Cam.
However, when it came to Katt, Shannon claimed that Katt was allegedly more than eager to start talking, and there were no holds barred for him. He also claimed that there was no way for him to verify what Katt was saying, and it was unfair for him to be getting all the smoke. Well, hold on, because Katt has his own side. According to an insider, Katt allegedly claimed that Shannon allegedly encouraged him to stretch the truth and even make up some stories to make it catchy. And I'm not gonna lie, that don't even sound like Katt. I mean, he has built a record over the years of spilling tea on other celebs. Thanks to him, we have learned a lot about the shadiest and nastiest celebrities in the industry. And if Shannon was looking for someone to blow things up, it would make sense why he had Katt on his podcast. Now, this is a lot of he said, she said, and fans believe that Shannon is getting defensive because his podcast is not doing the crazy numbers it did in the weeks after his Katt interview. He's looking for someone to blame, and Katt is the perfect person to take that blame. Well, you know the fans have been all over it, and they've been leaving comments saying the best thing about Shannon Sharpe's platform is is that we can once and for all stop saying that women gossip more, cause that's a messy man right there, boy. Shannon Sharpe is becoming messy. That man Shannon Sharpe gives way too good of an introduction to be having his platform become so messy. He gotta shift the energy for a sec, or he gonna be hosting Media Takeout TV. And Shannon did this ish to himself. He been messy trying to build his platform and establish his brand as the bigger backed and better Wendy Williams. Well, now every black artist is gonna target him. Well, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but y'all gotta let me know in the comments. How do you feel about Shannon? Do you think he's too messy? Or are you team Shay Shay? And is he really accusing Katt of trying to ruin his career? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and then check out this next video.